The idea that the afterlife is more rewarding than life on Earth has been present in many cultures. When such a belief is emphasized, especially in combination with honor, duty, or a divine mission, it can influence people's behavior in several ways. If death is seen as a transition to something better, risk-taking increases. Individuals may be more willing to participate in dangerous actions, such as war, especially if the action is perceived as meaningful or sacred. Promises of rewards, honor, eternal life, fellowship, beautiful women, etc., can act as psychological reinforcement. When such ideas are shared within a group, they are reinforced by social pressure, ideals, and stories of heroic deeds. The result can be great success for the group that has bought into the concept. They are prepared to make great sacrifices for their group. For example, I can mention the fearlessness of the Vikings as a direct consequence of their religion because the goal of their life was to eat pork in Valhalla every night, and it was considered unworthy not to die in battle. The Nazis also had a tendency to accept heavy losses on the battlefield, especially the Hitler Jugend, which consisted of boys who were heavily indoctrinated in the morality of their time, which made them extra dangerous. This was due to, among other things, to the total media control the leaders in Germany who had a vast influence over the upbringing of the youth, so that they became violent and at the same time accepted heavy losses in their own ranks. This is in stark contrast to the Russian forces that are currently wreaking havoc in Ukraine. They are at least aware of that their leadership does not care much about them because they call the front the meat grinder, which indicates that they have a correct perception of reality. The Vikings, on the other hand, could have called a battlefield Valkyria dating, although no one knows if there ever was a date. And speaking of which, both ISIS and Hamas also have a narrative that death through martyrdom will lead to access to beautiful women, which must be perceived as a very dangerous way to try to get a date. This probably works on really ugly men. It is strange that some men think that sudden death makes it easier to meet girls than to start talking to some of them. Is death cult dynamics a sort of Ponzi scheme?